Right. When did you, because I obviously, the format of doing clips I got from you, you're kind of the father of that, if you ask me. Other channels like Joe Rogan does the same thing, but I feel like you're the first guy to like kind of take a long form, at least in my opinion. Obviously, I'm sure other people did it, but that weren't as successful. But what kind of attracted you to your format that you currently release videos? Because it's very unique, and it works. Like you said, you might wait a month and a half for the full interview, but you're gonna watch each clip.
I mean, it was really just, to me, I looked at the behavior of viewing these videos, because you're going from a format of sitting in your living room and watching TV or watching a DVD,
right?
And you're kind of invested. You're in your house. You're sitting on a couch. You might have some food.
Right.
You might have your family members around. You're prepared to sit down there for an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to watch some full long form piece. But the reality is, with YouTube, the majority of people were on their phones, or on their laptops.
Right.
So is a person really going to hold their phone for an hour and a half?
Right.
Or they're watching a tiny little screen, and back then the screens were smaller and the resolution wasn't as good and so forth? No, I didn't think they would. Which is why I was like, well, let me just break it up into pieces. And with those pieces, I will actually focus on the topics and try to really make the titles as strong as possible. So people will watch this particular clip. And over time, people would clip up. Clipping is something that was being done by other people
on their channels
on their own channel, whether their own. This is now common. Like I remember I interviewed Neon recently, and he talked about how he pays hundreds of thousands of dollars for people to clip his stuff.
Right, because he's doing the IRL stuff. So I mean, he's sometimes, I'm sure, online for hours and hours and hours,
days
and hours
sometimes,
and hours.
right? So it's interesting. Like, he's actually paying people to clip. And that in turn draws traffic back into his original content. Whereas with us, it's like, yo, let's take control of the clipping ourselves. Someone else is going to do it anyways.
Yep.
So why should
benefit?
why we should have the benefit of this? Like, why let other people take our stuff, crop out the logo, throw their own huge logo across,
I hate
and it benefits them.
Yeah.
It doesn't really benefit us. And when people, I'm helping to promote you. No, you're not. You're trying to build your own platform, whether it's an IG page or your Twitter account, and you're getting what you think is free content, and you're putting your own name on it and somewhat hiding where it's actually coming from. And I feel that's almost it's a basic problem in the way content works and social media works, because when you look at like TikTok, you look at Twitter, I would say the majority of content is stuff that people don't own.
For sure. Yeah, it's a lot of pages and quote unquote platforms that are built off other people's work.
Right. Whereas
you're not creating anything original.
You're not creating anything original. You're just clipping it and putting your logo on it, and then you're getting views, followers, sponsored posts, ad deals, whatever else. So it's like, I feel the way it really should work is, if you have a piece of content, you should only be able to embed it from the original owner. You shouldn't be able to just rip it and re-upload it and then modify it.
There's such a bottom feeder industry on Instagram now and TikTok that it's like will you, if someone posts something on their YouTube channel where they clip your shit out, or maybe they don't give you credit, will you flag it?
Yeah, we strike all the time.
Yeah,
people are starting to learn that we strike, so don't fuck around with our content.
If someone gives you credit, like let's say they're like reacting to an interview,
I don't like that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like bring it to my attention, and then maybe we could work something out.
Right.
But working something out almost never means that they're going to be compensating me for the content.
Because there's so many channels now that their whole entire thing is reacting.
Yeah.
So it's like, whether it's a song or an interview,
but a lot of times it's not even reacting. It's usually just, hey, let me just take this piece.
No, for sure.
And put it out. Like, a reaction is a reaction. I'm not so much concerned with the reactions. Right. But a lot of times, like, even like with shorts, it's like,
shorts is where they fuck you.
It's like they rip your stuff, they throw a little bit of music behind it, they slow it down to try to get around the limitation, the content ID and stuff like that. And ultimately, and the problem is like, you'll have these channels that are like, they have 2,000 followers, but they'll get 1 million views on a short.
Yeah. That's
your content, and the logo's not there. There's really no real benefit. So it's, it is what it is. It's a balancing act.
I can imagine, like, at the end of the day, like you said, like, it's like there's a difference between giving credit. It's almost like, if somebody's sourcing something in an article or something and just chopping something up, cutting out. I hate when people cover your logo. And I'm just like, bro.
I've had people like literally upload entire hour-and-a-half videos on their Twitter account. It's just insane. Like the entire video is from beginning to end, like right there. Yeah. So listen, I understand. Like it sounds kind of old school, but at the end of the day, you create this content and you control it. Like literally, we have a person on staff that one of their main jobs is to copyright every single interview. Literally, so we have a copyright on everything, because way too often in the past it'd be like Netflix, like when the Mike Tyson Jake Paul interview was, when Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight was about to happen, there was a whole documentary, and they used like part of my Ari Spears interview. I didn't get paid. I didn't get.
Netflix didn't reach out.
Yeah, I didn't even get asked.
Wow.
There was an HBO documentary where like part of my D.L. Hughley interview got paid. Used in it. Lil Baby would perform at Rolling Loud and use part of his interview.
It's like, hey,
it's like
I've had that happen a few times where they always reach out and they try to get me to sign off. Like they try to use a Whack. I had Whack where he talked about he had like an unreleased sex
shout out
tape.
to Whack.
Shout out to Whack, man. You guys have some classics.
Yeah.
In the last.
Yeah. No, I mean, and this is why I finally got sick of it. I said everything's gonna get copyrighted, and when people start to do this shit from now on, they're gonna get a letter from my lawyer. And
I think people got to understand too, man, is like at the end of the day, the hard work, the hours, the years that get put into, building your brand, that, that shit is not like to be taken lighthearted. In the same way that like if an artist got sampled without someone clearing it, they're going to fucking sue.
Sure. You know what I mean?
Or they're going to send a cease and desist to take it down.
Exactly.
100%. Like it's the same shit. So you got to respect, each side of the grind.
Yeah.
I want to get back. So I was a huge, when I came up, I got the name Bootleg Kev because I used to sell mixtapes, CDs, all that good shit. But you were kind of like, obviously got hip to you. I remember the mixtape you did with The Game.
Yeah. That mixtape had a DVD bundle, and that was my first video project ever.
That shit was a classic.
In life. Yeah, it's called The Devil's Advocate.
Yeah, it was. You had The Devil's Advocate, and then the Rap Phenomenon shit.
Yeah.
Was just like, I mean, was the Ghetto remix with Biggie and Tupac, the Akon Ghetto remix, was that on Rap Phenomenon? I think it was.
No.
It wasn't, no? But those were like, that was like an era of like, I think kids don't ever understand, like there was like the mixtape era followed by the blog era.
Yeah.
And then we got into the streaming era.
There's a mixtape era, I think, followed by the DVD era.
Yeah, but I look at the mixtape DVD era kind of around like
a little bit the same time. Yeah, but you got to give a shout out to people like Smack that really kind of revolutionized the DVD era. And I was part of that era as well. I had the Hot in Here DVDs during that time, which was kind of the prequel to what Vlad TV became on YouTube.